everyone relax. This is TOFOP on Charlie.
I'm Will Anderson. Hello and thank you for watching.
We've had many tropes, many running gags on this podcast over the years.
We have.
Probably one of the most enduring has been the urban myth that the Counting Crows once played Bluesfest.
Byron Bay Blues
Byron Blaze.
Rest in
Byron Blaze.
Byron Blaze.
Byron Blaze. Byron Blaze.
Which is your stripper name, right? Byron Blaze.
Yep. Byron Blaze Bluesfest, and they didn't play Mr. Jones. So we talked about that before we went on our a little bit of our break.
We've talked about it many times.
Many times, but recently we talked about it
because the Counting Crows were going to play Byron Bay Bluesfest
before it got,
and then it got. Well, it's not happening.
Well, probably the only the reason we talked about it a lot is like you speak to people, locals in Byron Bay, and it was like a controversy that even in all these years later, people still railed against. Has since been overtaken by what happened to Bluesfest and Peter Noble taking all that money and then cancelling the festival. That has supplanted.
Yeah. Turns out there's other
outrage.
Controversies around Byron Bay Bluesfest that don't involve the Counting Crows.
Yeah.
But so what's going on?
Okay, so
you've told me that there's been a lot of correspondence, but I'm not aware of the.
So the last time we talked about it, I put that clip on YouTube, and the comments were filled with what would you call Counting Crows fans, like crow's feet, crowheads.
You're right.
Counties,
CCs,
really annoyed.
CCFs,
CC. that sounds worse. And I think this is the reason why.
Okay.
So this is from one of our listeners, Matthew, who says, hey, here's a set list from Bluesfest 2015. And you can see it quite clearly includes Mr. Jones. Also, you should check out the recent Counting Crows doco, Counting Crows. Have you seen me lately on HBO? No. I don't know if you're a massive fan, Matthew, but I shall not be.
Was your no the answer to, have you seen me lately, or whether you were going to watch the documentary?
Both.
You will not find me around here.
The only thing I really know about the Counting Crows is that Adam Duritz in the 90s was like having sex with every famous Hollywood actress, and was Courtney Cox and
Winona Ryder.
But didn't he do Tour de France? I think he did Jennifer Aniston. He was with Jennifer Aniston and
Marcel the Monkey, right?
I think it was Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox, which has got to be like in the 90s. If you could go out with two girls from Friends, that's like huge.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, is it?
Don't you think? I mean, they're the biggest celebrities on the planet in the late 90s. And they would be, and as we know, they're friends in real life as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to date within your friendship group when everyone's not in the public spotlight. He did that with two of the most famous women on earth.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
And they
famously friends.
Yeah, and they're famously friends. Those friends are friends. Did you ever see that photo of them? I think it was.
Do you think they were just friends with benefits?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Thank you for your yes. Not yes and. Yes, full stop.
Well, I don't get seriously. It's like, yes, I think they would have been friends with benefits. But did you see that photo that came out? I don't know. Maybe it was before Matthew Perry's death. It was 5 of the 6 friends. So everyone but Matthew Perry. And it's like, hey, we're breaking the internet or whatever it was. And it's all the friends at one of their living rooms. And they're all smiling. And then someone zoomed in to the coffee table and you could see like lines of white powder on the coffee table.
Oh,
at least do you remember this? Am I making this up, or does this check out?
So Matthew Perry was there. Is that what you're saying?
I think Matthew Perry just left.
Yeah.
But he's like, I haven't heard from you guys in ages. What's going on? Oh, hey, Matthew, why don't you come around? It's like, how do we get him over and then get him out?
Yeah.
But why was I bringing that up? I can't remember. They do drugs.
Yeah. Okay, so don't do drugs, kids. That's our message of the podcast these days. So the Counting Crows. Well, this might also have to do with not doing drugs. The idea that they did play,
and no one remembers.
Yeah.
No, I've got another possible explanation for you.
Okay, good.
So this is from Bill.
Yeah. So firstly, first bit of correspondence is saying
they did 2015.
This is a myth. The Counting Crows definitely played Mr. Jones. At
Bluesfest specifically.
Bluesfest.
But here's where I think maybe the kind of confusion lies. So this is from Bill. In 2009, I saw the Who in Brisbane and the
Yeah.
Counting Crows with a support act. They did not play Mr. Jones.
Oh.
According to Setlist FM, they have played Bluesfest twice and they've definitely played Mr. Jones at both. So I think what's happened is those stories have got conflated.
They were talking about Byron Bay Who's Fest.
That's right. I mean, do you think that they didn't play it at the Who when they were a support act because it would be like, why wouldn't you play your biggest song? I mean, aren't support acts allowed to play their biggest song? That's generally
It'd be great if the Who said, you
no,
can do support,
but shit,
but
you're going to
no
be bad.
Mr. Jones.
Like generally a support act, they do come out. They've maybe had a hit song, and it's like, hey, people aren't going to know most of your stuff, but play that hit song. But the Who were like, fuck that. No one outshines Pete Townsend.
A lot of people don't know this, but Mr. Jones is actually about Roger Daltrey. Have you seen the Who? I've run out of the Who people.
Roger, hang on. Roger Daltrey, is he that? No, he's Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
He's the guy,
Pete Townsend was the only one that I could name off the top of my head. So
wasn't he the guy?
Didn't
Pete Townsend have his
was
hard drive
doing some
seized.
research,
Yeah.
Charlie, for a documentary he was
That's
making.
right.
And he was just doing some research, I think.
So let's put that to bed. We'll retire that joke from the show, don't you think?
Well, so they did. Well, I mean, if it's not,
if
it's not true,
yeah. Look, they've sent us a link.
I mean, if there's
to
evidence that they've played it,
set list apparently, and everyone apparently, if it's on set list, it's that's as good as
maybe
gospel.
we're just in the bad timeline. Is there a chance that this is
It was such a funny
Mandela
story.
style effect of like?
Yes, I
thing
think it
where,
was.
You know, but maybe there was a world. Maybe
I think you and I are the only
pre-2016
people who
world.
really propagated it, though. We
Maybe
were
in
so
2015
tickled by the idea.
Yeah.
I think we
were
played a large.
disseminators of misinformation.
It's like the Michael Flatley thing.
Yeah.
We loved that story so much.
So much.
We kept that alive.
Overinflated it.
Yeah, we overinflated it. Which, by the way, while we're talking about bands and our specific interest in them,
5 have been touring Australia.
as we're recording, 5
Yes.
are touring Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many times I need to say this because I get so many people messaging me, say, hey, were you at the 5 concert? Are you going to go see 5? My interest in 5
Was getting them back together.
was entirely around what happened to Jay.
Yeah.
As soon as Jay, it was kind of like Moonlighting was good until Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd got together.
Yeah.
Once the tension was gone, you lost interest. So now that Jay's back, I'm happy for him, but I have no interest in 5 anymore.
Well, I've got something to throw into the mix.
Okay.
Because somebody who works on Gruen went and saw 5 the other night.
Yeah. Was it Tom Cashman? Because I saw him. Does he write for Gruen? Because I saw Tom Cashman at 3 of 5 a couple of years ago.
Well, it was,
Unironically dancing and singing. And I was like, oh, he's a comedian. He must be here for ironic purposes. No. He was enjoying it. I even told his manager about that and she was shocked.
well, it was not Tom Cashman, but I can't confirm or deny whether Tom Cashman went to the 5 gig. I don't know. Can't
I
put
reckon
it on
he
the
did.
record. But here's what I can tell you. The person in our crew who went to the 5 gig said that they weren't sure that Jay was the original Jay.
Oh.
There may be
a new Jay.
a new Jay.
A K. we couldn't get Jay, but we got K.
Yeah. It was actually, to be honest, the boys requested some K from backstage.
And we got a little confused.
It's been a real... But anyway, 5 are back together.
I mean, it is... Look, that's not entirely true. I haven't completely shut myself off. I have been sort of keeping half an eye on...
Apparently it was good. I heard good reports.
Yeah, look...
Good fun times.
It
Doing
is,
all the old dances.
it's a real... It is a real lesson that you just gotta... like those 3 of 5, like Jay and the other one, Abs, who came back, really owe a lot to the 3 guys who hung in there
kept
for
it
20
going.
years
Mm-hmm.
and kept doing those smaller nightclub tours and stuff, just keeping the fires alive. Because, and we have discussed this before, but there was something very valuable to the 5 brand by holding out so long. Like if they had come back after 10 years or whatever, it probably wouldn't, or it definitely would have petered out by now, but it probably wouldn't have been as exciting back then. But the fact that, kind of like Led Zeppelin, you know, occasionally Led Zeppelin will come back together and those tickets sell for $1 zillion. The fact that 5 held out for so long. So what I'm saying, Will, is we just need to hang in there. We were super popular at one point. We'll hang in there. The worm will turn.
Well, I mean, basically, we've had like just a recent thing where you've been doing the show without me.
You owe me. I couldn't get Will, but here's Bill.
I did it without you for years.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Well. So we both.
Well, now we're even. Now we can quit.
I kept it going as well when you went off to do your own thing.
Yeah, that's true.
When you were at the Bay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so we're all square.
I was 3 of 5 back then, and now you've been 3 of 5.
I've brought in a few topics.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you. I'm just going to read them out to you, and you tell me which one tickles your fancy. Okay. A small Sicilian lady was my gangster. Topic 1.
A small Sicilian lady was your gangster.
Yep. That's topic 1. Farts in the butt.
Farts in the butt.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. This so far sounds like 30 Rock fake movie titles, is what I'm hearing.
Can't say Tristan.
Can't say Tristan. Okay, yep.
Water skiing mice.
I'm going to say can't say Tristan is what I would like to start with.
Bit of TOFOP law. Remember that dog that I liberated, that I saved from being locked outside of the house?
That dog you
my
stole.
neighbour's dog
When you
that I
kidnapped
saved, that I took pity on, that my overwhelming compassion for all living things compelled me to jump my neighbour's fence and bring it into my house.
When you went into somebody else's private property and took their
It's
beloved
distressed
pet
family pet
back to your house.
back
with
to
no
my house.
explanation. Yeah, I remember.
So that's that was my neighbour, Tristan. What I've worked out, I cannot say the name Tristan. I really have to think. It's like penguin.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Penguin.
Yeah.
I say Tristian.
So if you ever met a penguin called Tristan, that would be tough for you.
Every time I see Tristan, I have to do what I'm doing right now, which is slow it right down and think really hard, because when I'm caught on the hop, I say Tristian, like it's Christian. Oh, it's not Christian. What's wrong with me? I can't.
But Charlie, you are a Christian. I don't know why you can't say Christian.
I was raised Christian. I'm not a Christian
You went to a Christian Brothers school, didn't you?
Tristan. For some reason, I always say Tristan as Tristian, and I can't.
Why?
I don't know.
Like it's like Tristan. Like Twiston. Like Tristan Shout.
Iona does this thing where she doesn't say cockroach, she says cockroach, and we think it's adorable.
I mean, that is funny because she's like a little
She's
nonna.
6. Cockroach. I got to the cockroach. Relate to my Sicilian gangster story. But Tristan. Like it's. Do you have any words like that you cannot?
Oh yeah, I'm sure that I do. But Tristan. I mean, I used to be a
Tristan. It
I'm
feels
a
like there should be
nuclear
an
person now, but like I used to get that one wrong, I reckon.
How do you spell Tristan? Is there an I? Is it Tristian?
It can be, I believe.
I think that's what's tripping me up. The way it's written. Is there an I? I pronounce the I. It's a silent I. Tristan.
Tristian.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. I'm too exotic
You
and
should
European.
just be like, excuse me, Tristian.
Tristian.
Excuse me, Tristian. Could I please use your bin, Tristian?
Sicilian lady is a gangster.
Okay.
Not a literal gangster, but gangster in the kind of cool street slang version of gangster. So recently I was at the airport and I was at the lounge and I was sort of keeping an eye on the departures, and I looked up and it was the final call. I was like, oh no. Shit. I had my headphones on and been watching my iPad or whatever. Go bolting to the gate, and have you ever had this interaction where you get scolded by like the flight attendants when you get there? Like,
because you're too late.
Yeah, we rushed up.
Yeah,
and I went running up, and they were like, closing the door and stuff, and she was like, no, too late, and I'm a wuss. I was like, mad out. Anyway, I turn around. This old Sicilian lady was also coming after me, and she just went. Like the flight attendant, she was like, because the lady was like, we called you 3 times, it's too late. And this lady was like, you did not call us. I was sitting right by the speaker, blah, 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 blah. You didn't call us. This is on you. And I, for no reason, just like agreed with the lady. It was like what she
What
said.
she said.
And this lady, and they started going out. The woman was like, "That is not true. Like, we've got a direct line here. We called it 3 times." And the woman's like, "You were calling me a liar?" And I was like, "Yeah, you calling her a liar?"
I mean, I'm a liar. I'm absolutely
I'm definitely a liar because I did not hear it.
Yeah, I didn't hear. I had my headphones on. I was in my own world. La 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 la.
Part of me had my headphones on, so I could not confirm nor
nor
deny.
You don't know.
If it,
They might not have called.
But this lady,
And why you're siding with the man rather than this trustworthy Sicilian Nonna.
and so the Nonna and the lady are going at it, and so then the flight it's like, oh, and so she's jumping on the walkie-talkie to see if they can open up, and then the Nonna turns to me and she's like, "Can you believe these people?" And I'm like, "No, I can't believe these people.
I can't believe
it's unbelievable." And she's like, "The disrespect
the
and blah blah blah," and I'm like,
disrespect.
"Absolutely,
Exactly, disrespect."
And then the flight attendant comes back and says, "Okay, you can get on." And the woman, the Sicilian, the Nonna, the whole way she's going down she's yelling at the lady.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You need to work, or you need to go to the lounge now and speak to them and check the system. I almost missed my flight. I'm flying back for my son's, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
And the whole time I was
You
like,
come to me on the morning of my son's
Yes.
wedding.
"Oh, dude." And so I was so grateful because I would have missed my flight. And then I just had this feeling of like, you're pathetic. Like, I am so, like, why don't I stand up for myself? Why don't I, like, there's some people who, even when they're in their wrong, they'll stand their ground and they'll just be like, "No, I don't care. Yeah, I fucking didn't hear the thing. I've paid my ticket." Like, if I was more of that kind of guy, where I'm like, rather than like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the call," like, be like, "Hang on, wait a minute. It was a mistake. Maybe I did hear it. Maybe I was in the bathroom. I could have lied and been like the lady, but I didn't stand up for myself." And I was just like, why did it take an elderly Sicilian Nonna to give me some backbone? And it didn't even really give me some backbone. I just sat on her,
You
climbed on her
admired
backbone.
Her backbone was so strong that you could hop on the back and be carried through.
You know what I mean? Like, why am I like that? Where's my fight? Where's my sense of like self-worth?
Because you're a soy boy beta cuck.
Yeah. Will, what's happened to this country?
I do think that there is something about culturally, like, I think that sort of like that character of that older, feistier, like European like type, like it works. We expect it.
Yeah.
When somebody sees somebody do something like that, you're like, oh yeah, it doesn't seem as offensive.
Yeah.
Even to the people who are being scolded, there is something about the fact that it is an older person scold. I think if you're a middle-aged white straight guy like you are and you behave in the same way,
Doesn't go down as well.
well, you probably still it's probably still effective, but the world's full of guys like that and they're awful.
Are they?
Yeah.
No, but isn't there something to be said
successful.
for standing up for yourself and being like...
But in this case, I don't know if this Nonna was telling the truth or not.
No.
Like, but she's old and she doesn't have to tell the truth anymore. She farts when she walks and she doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like...
That I don't know.
Well, we know she's a Nonna.
I had headphones on. I couldn't tell.
You couldn't hear. You were like...
But do you think, like, I agree. So does that mean when I get to an age where I'm sort of, I'm getting more into an old man territory, less threatening, I guess, what you'd say, less in the mainstream, less sort of owning more of the pie culturally, that I can start being a bit more combative, and curmudgeonly like that. Like someone has to listen to me.
Yes.
Because, like you expect that with old people. They don't give a shit.
Yes.
Like I went to the football with my friend and we had dinner. We had lunch with his family beforehand at this Chinese restaurant. And when we came out of the restaurant, the police had blocked off the street because they were letting all the footy traffic, all the people. So you couldn't turn onto the street. You had to wait till the footy started. Then they were going to remove the roadblocks so you could drive out. Do you think his dad gave a fuck? He literally got in his... Like, there were police there.
Yeah.
Didn't give a fuck.
No.
The police were like, whoa, 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 whoa. And the old man just waved them off and kept driving. Like...
I mean, I'm not sure you should go that far.
No.
I don't think you're built for that.
Well, it's also this country, right? Yeah. Like, try and do that in the States. Like, just drive past a police officer, see what happens there.
Yeah. But I do think that even here, I wouldn't be driving past police officers in that situation.
It was so funny. We just looked back. He was like, my mate was like, Dad, stop. His dad was like, nah, I got to go home. I'm not going to wait for traffic.
Yeah. Well, I think there is a point where you can get to that.
Yeah.
But you're not quite at that point.
I think it's the problem is, and maybe it's the Catholic in me, but I always assume that I'm in the wrong.
Yeah.
I always assume that I've fucked up somehow.
You're guilty.
Yeah. I'm an easy mark for con men. Apart from, I've been conned a couple of times, but I'm an easy mark when it's face to face. Like over email and stuff, I think I'm not like you. I'm a bit more judicious in how I evaluate those things. But when people present themselves to me with full confidence and there's urgency, I have a tendency to go, okay, sure. Like I don't stop and hold my ground. And I think I need to do that more. I mean, nothing bad's happened yet, but I feel like it could. I feel like I need to sort of be a bit more staunch in how I approach people who are coming at me with like full confidence and aggression.
Well, I think that I think part of the problem is that because so many other people are living their life that way and there is no consequences really to living your life in such a way, if you don't stand up for yourself, you get rolled over.
Yeah.
Like if the world was fair, you wouldn't have to stand up for yourself. Like you would just be treated with like decency and respect and kindness and consideration and all these sort of things. But the world is not those things. And unfortunately, it's like brutally unfair in a lot of ways. And so you do have to have some sort of...
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a complete pushover. There's been instances in which I've had to kind of like, assess the situation, but it's more but
you weren't going towards that gate going, open those doors.
Well, I think it's more like...
I'm a man.
If it's high stakes, like if it's if you're involved in a car accident or something like that, then I'm very good at getting out and assessing it. But when it's kind of trivial, when it's not as important, like you miss a flight, okay. Maybe if it had been, I was going for a funeral or an important meeting or whatever, I would have been more. But because I was like, oh, well, maybe I've fucked up. But there are some people who they're immovable, right? From their point of view, their sense of self, their sense of like, this is the world.
Yeah, but there are also...
bends to me.
Yes, there are people who honestly believe it is never their fault either.
Narcissists.
Right?
Yeah.
People who are just like, no, you didn't... Like, I'm not saying this Nonna was lying. There are so many reasons she might not have heard the call.
Yeah.
And maybe they didn't call, or maybe there was something wrong with the speaker. But chances are she didn't hear it for whatever reason. You didn't hear it because you had your headphones. You were both technically in the wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's probably, realistically, it's rare, I think, that the airline is trying to sneak one over on you. They're not trying to intentionally lock people off the plane. Like if you've got luggage and stuff, it annoys them. If you don't actually catch the flight, it's problematic to them, etc.
Yeah.
So chances are they did announce it. Chances are they did call and you didn't hear. Chances are this Nonna has just gone in absolutely 100% gun. Now, I'm not saying she didn't believe what she was saying.
Yeah.
But she was probably wrong. And it's just proof that even if you're in the wrong, if you are confident enough or bold enough or whatever, then...
I mean, it's interesting, right? You just made me realize. So you're right. Like there are people who go around like that. And I said that I'm not like that when it comes to, email scams. I'll give you an example. So recently I'm shifting our newsletter, our mail out that goes out each week. I'm shifting servers from one company to another. Okay. So I can automate more of it. So it takes less time to do. Right. And so I was evaluating different, companies that could do it. And I found this one company and I was like, great. And I thought I read all the fine print, shut down our old account, moved all the contacts over, paid for a year's worth of subscription for this new account, set it all up. It didn't work. It's frustrating. Was on messaging with support and realized, oh shit, to actually automate it, need to pay a lot more, got to upgrade to this system. And I had just left it wasn't perfect, but it was working fine. And I'd paid a year in advance. Yeah. And so I messaged them and said, hey, look, I only just signed up yesterday, but this service is not what I wanted. I feel there's misrepresentations made in the way it was put across. So I'd like you to, I've canceled my membership. I'd like you to refund my money. And they were like, no. And boy, did I turn into an Italian Nonna. Oh boy. I was just like, excuse me. And then I just went through and I was like, it's like this and it's like that and blah, 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 blah. And now they're refunding the money because I kicked up such a fuss. So I think it's more when I've got time to assess, I can be I know how to be like I have some backbone, but it's in that sort of moment where it's like, oh, this is also new, and you've got to make an instant decision that sometimes I get a bit swamped, and I will defer to, okay, well, I guess I have fucked up in this instance.
Yeah. Well, I had an instance of this recently where I was doing like press for Gruen, and I was doing Brisbane breakfast radio. I've got some shows coming up in Brisbane, by the way. If you're in Brisbane, please come and see my shows. But I was
Link in
doing
the show notes.
I was doing some Brisbane breakfast radio, and they did that thing where we talked about Gruen, and then I go, could you hold on the line? We've got a thing for after the break, and you're like, oh God, here we go. What's this like thing? They've got some surprise, you know. Anyway, they had this woman on the line who was like, oh, 25 years ago,
Oh, God.
you like did a gig at my grandmother's birthday or someone's birthday because your mum knew them and blah, blah, blah. And you called my grandma, you asked how many kids my grandma had and like grandkids and whatever. And you said like, Nan's a bit of a slut. And she's like, and we've always remembered that blah, 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 this story. Anyway, the whole time that they're telling this story, I'm like, that could have been me, right? But I have no memory of this story.
Yeah.
Like literally there's just bits and pieces in it that I'm like, but at the time, because I've thought about it a few times since, like where I was like, at the end I was like, I'm so sorry, but I don't actually think that was me. But then I've thought about it a few times since where I'm going, why was I not more bold about?
Yeah. No, shut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just think there's a part of me that goes, oh, well, maybe I did do this thing, or maybe this is, or I just can't remember, or whatever. And I like have to, whereas like, I don't, in that moment, whereas like if given time to think about it or whatever, I'd be like, oh, this sounds weird to me. I don't know I don't remember any of the details of this, so it's hard for me to talk about, even if it was me. I'm not even saying it didn't happen. I just literally have no memory of it.
Well, you know, the other thing about that too, especially in that instance, is that you're so different now, and your perception and your understanding of the world and the things that you might joke about now is so different. Like Michael Chamberlain messaged me a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, hey man, like I was just going through some stuff and I found this letter that you sent me when we were in high school, and he sent it to me, and I won't go into it, but I read it and I was like, who the fuck wrote this? Because it's edgelord comedy.
Yeah.
I'm being real dark and real like, but it's so fucked. Like I said, can you just burn that letter? Like, but reading it, I could not comprehend. I'm the same person, but like 17-year-old me was not me. Like it was, I understood.
But that's this
what
whole
I was trying to
crisis with young men, right? Like, and I'm not saying it's not real, like, but I'm saying that the way that we treat this idea that somehow it's new that teenage boys are like this, as opposed to the fact that we all had those instincts in us to be edgy or confrontational or to laugh at things or see things that we shouldn't have seen, or that's like very much in all of us as boys, even those of us who hopefully have developed our sense of humor or whatever it is since then. Like part of the reason that the Andrew Tates and whatever of the world appeal to teenage boys is that they still have their settings at what teenage boys think are important or funny or edgy or whatever these things might be. I think that we make a mistake sometimes when we don't go, oh, that kind of instinct or whatever it is in everyone. It's just now we live in an age where those instincts can be grabbed onto and reaffirmed and weaponized and exploited, like in a way that we were just lucky that when we were making those same jokes or thinking those same thoughts, that we weren't in an infrastructure where, like, you can burn a letter, but the thing on the internet lives forever, or it could be taken advantage of, or you can get sucked into a world you don't belong in.
It was really surprising to me because I probably would sit in that camp of being like, oh, that's fucked. Like, that kid said that, and that must be their actual values and blah, blah, blah. But I know what I was like when I was a teenager, and that they weren't my values. I was clearly trying to make my friends laugh.
A lot of the time you say things the opposite of your values
exactly.
for comedic effect.
And really badly too.
Yeah,
like
totally.
with no sense of any irony or anything. It just comes across as like
you don't have sophisticated values, and you don't have the sophistication to be able to.
And you don't know anything about the world either. No. Like I was a private school boy in Melbourne who had never like left Melbourne or done anything. Like it was the most insulated, kind of view of the world. But it was just surprising to me how different I was. And so I do have like a lot more empathy now for fucking the brains are still forming, and also what they're experiencing, or what the stimulation, the inputs they're getting that we never had, that are so much more extreme and so much more corrosive, that would probably just accelerate that kind of behavior, that anti-social behavior.
What if the instincts that we have inside us, or the way that we're trying to fit in with our groups, or like the way that we negotiate those things through language and like, perspectives within like where you are in the social hierarchy or whatever these things might be. A lot of that is just learning and trying to shape yourself. But you now live in this world where you have this huge external force that can kind of weaponize some of those. And we know it as adults. We see how much like online culture can weaponize our worst instincts. So like the idea that same thing is happening for kids is, I mean, we think about it as if it's a new problem, whereas I actually think it's the same thing we've always been dealing with. It just, instead of some older kid telling you like, blah, 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 or you making a few edgy jokes in a letter to your mate, it becomes this like whole, I've just made this horrible video about women or whatever.
Yeah, and because it does exist forever now, was it Shane Gillis who got Saturday Night Live and then someone
lost
found
it because there was like
he made some jokes, like racist jokes. And the one thing I'd say about Shane Gillis is that I've never heard him. It's not like he wrote a special based about I never got Saturday Night Live, and he seems to have just like moved on and
he just went back to kind of like going, oh well, actually people like my jokes, so I'm just going to keep doing my jokes.
Yeah, but it didn't become like, because some comedians, they get cancelled or whatever, and then they go, okay, well that's my
identity,
that's my audience, and so I'm like, you can't cancel me or triggered or whatever. But he's like, okay, well I'm just a young guy fucked up, and he seems to sort of move between those two worlds quite comfortably now, where he'll do a Rogan or a roast or whatever, but then he'll also get invited onto Saturday Night Live. But I think the lesson from that is, he fucked up, he took ownership of it, and then he just moved on. It wasn't a case of because you either double down on it, which you're defining yourself now around that one mistake you made as an idiot, like as a half-formed brain young man.
There's a comedian whose name is Artie Brown. It's called The Last Cancelled Comedian, is the name of his special, I think, or something very similar to that. And it's really worth watching for people. So he is a comedian who had like done some like stuff that genuinely got cancelled, and the show is about that. And there is a moment in the show, and he goes, and people like to say when this happened, all of the work offers dried up, but that all the work offers didn't dry up.
Yeah.
He said, I actually got, my phone wouldn't stop ringing from all the right wing like podcasts and shows and whatever coming on, and saying, please come on, be inviting them into that world and into that infrastructure. And he has this great line in it, and he goes, and he said, and I said no to each and every one of those. And he goes, and I do want a pat on the back for that. And I was like, yeah. What was the name of
Alfie Brown.
Alfie Brown. It's genuinely a really thought-provoking comedy special, worth watching.
I'm gonna let's go into some toilet humor.
All right.
Farts in the butt.
Farts in the butt.
Okay. So
It's my favourite Cypress Hill cover song for the kids.
Farts in the butt. Farts in the... Well, you're not far from that. So Iona's very much in her toilet humor phase. Just like farts and bums are the funniest thing in the world. And I don't know how she discovered this song. There's a lot of sort of artists on Spotify and stuff, like I guess like self-publishing musicians who will put up just like nonsense kind of music. And so there was one...
And are they real people?
They're real people, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yes, I think so.
All right.
So there's this song that's just like, I can't. It's to the tune of what somebody once told me. Na, na, na. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it goes.
Rocks All Star, is that the song?
Yeah.
Hey
So,
now.
but it's a slowed down version of that, and it goes like some told me the world is macaroni. So I threw a lightsaber at him. Like, it's just nonsense. A few days later, he turned into Darth Vader. Like, it's this nonsense kid song, and she loves it for some
I'm
reason.
in. Is that
But
how
then-
you turn into Darth Vader?
So the algorithm would start feeding us more of these nonsense kid songs. And there's this one song that is just like a slow hip hop beat.
Is
like,
it Hey Now You're the Death Star?
No,
Is that where?
no.
Because that's.
It's just,
anyway.
just give me a slow
Yeah.
beat. Go, dum, dum, tss, dum, dum. Give me that, ready?
Dum,
This is how the
dum,
song
tss,
goes.
Dum, dum, tss,
Farts
dum,
in the
dum,
butt.
tss, dum,
Farts in the
dum,
butt.
tss,
I got
dum,
a
dum,
fart.
tss,
It's
dum,
in my
dum,
butt.
tss, dum,
Farts in
dum,
the butt.
tss,
Farts
dum,
in the
dum,
butt.
tss,
In
dum,
my
dum,
butt,
tss,
I have
dum,
a
dum,
fart.
tss.
And it goes on like that.
Uh-huh.
She loves it.
Right.
She loves it. She puts it on in the car.
Yeah.
When friends come over, she
Yeah.
puts it on. And I don't know what my responsibility is here as the parent. She loves it, Will.
Yeah.
She thinks it's funny. She
Yeah.
thinks it's great.
Mhm.
She sings it to me. She sings it to her
Yeah.
friends. I'm terrified she's going to sing it to her teacher. But do I? Because
Mm.
Gemma's not into like toilet humor at all. Gemma, but I'm like, who am I to? I do TOFOP. Who am I to look down on my
Yeah.
daughter's enjoyment of farts in the butt?
Uh-huh.
But she hasn't grown out of it. Like, it's been almost a year of farts in the butt, and it's still like a number one song. Do I intervene? Do I let it play out?
I mean, you can't push back against it too hard because then farts in the butt will become her
Becomes
entire
even-
identity. You know, she's sneaking out of the house to listen to farts in the butt. She's got a secret recording of farts in the butt. Suddenly the two of you don't have a good relationship anymore because she's like, "I hate you, Dad. You won't let me listen to farts in the butt."
When I was about her age, I remember hearing a leopard joke at school and telling my
a
mum
leper.
a leopard joke.
Yeah,
And telling my mum, and my mum being
Yeah,
like,
no.
don't you ever
Yeah.
say that again.
Yeah.
I don't want you telling that joke to anyone. If any of your friends' parents hear that,
Mm.
it's going to reflect badly on
Yeah.
me. Now I get it. I'm like, I don't want you going around to your friends' houses and getting all the kids to start singing farts in the butt. But then I'm like, has the world moved on? Is farts in the butt not offensive? Like, is it okay for her to be singing farts in the butt? Like, I don't know where the culture's at.
it's interesting, isn't it? Because
Farts,
farts are natural.
yeah, but it's also like
Totally
a staple
normal.
of comedy.
Staple of comedy, but also a totally normal human thing that maybe we need to destigmatize. And maybe this is the hard work. She's actually doing the work, Charlie. She's on the front line.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Farts are in your butt. And often they're coming out of your butt. And like she's breaking down that, she's starting a conversation, I think, Charlie.
So you think I should just let her?
I think in your part of the world, isn't it more about like, hey, let's not make people feel ashamed
Oh yeah, there's
about
a lot
who they
of
are
like,
and
hey,
what they
yeah,
are.
we try.
and,
We
like,
don't tell our kids no.
Yeah.
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 Those parents, you don't want your kids hanging out with those parents. I hate those we don't tell our kids no parents. We don't like to use negative language in the house. We always like to encourage. But it's more about, to be honest, it's more about my ego.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm worried that's going to reflect badly on me. Like if she does farts in the butt I don't mind if farts in the butt stays in our house or our car. My concern is that she's going to spread farts in the butt around her school. It's going to become the 6-7 and it's all going to be traced back to me.
But imagine if it became the new 6-7.
Farts in the butt.
Yeah. And you were like, we started that. And then you got Richmondy and you got farts in the butt.
When I die on my tombstone,
Charlie Clausen.
it came up with Richmondy and farts in the butt.
Creator of Richmondy.
Well,
Farts
I
in the
didn't
butt.
come up with farts in the
Oh,
butt.
no, it's true.
I popularized
Yeah.
farts in the butt.
Yeah. That's how I feel about Richmondy. All right.
What was the other topic we were going to talk about? Mice water skiing.
Oh yeah, mice water skiing. How did we forget?
Where are we at, Elise, on time?
38:09.
Okay,
yes,
this will take
this
us
is good.
perfectly
Yep.
into
pack.
crack that pack. So
Second elimination final.
down on the river in
Down by the river?
in Ballina.
From the river to the sea? No, you
No,
can't
I
say
can't
that.
say that.
Can't
mate.
say that.
Jesus Christ,
You're
what are
in
you
trouble.
talking? We can't play this in Queensland
Can't
now.
even play this episode in Queensland.
We are going to get territory restricted in
no.
Queensland. I was at the river.
When you say
far
to
from
northern,
the sea,
northern rivers to the sea, and it's just like the whole podcast gets banned.
And so there with Iona and a couple of her little mates, and there was a guy driving like this little remote control speedboat around, and I was like, "Oh, that's cute." And then there was like a little jet ski hanging off the back of with what I thought was like an action figure hanging off the back of this speedboat. And I look a bit closer, and I see that the action figure is moving. And then I look at the speedboat, and I see there's a mouse behind the wheel of the speedboat, and there's another mouse on the back of the on water skis riding this speedboat around.
What are you talking about?
There was mice water skiing, and
what did you? Are you high?
no.
Were you?
Here's
high?
the thing. I thought I was.
There was mice.
You know what made me think I was high?
Yeah, there was mice
no
water
one.
skiing.
It was packed. Everyone was
Just
down at the river. No one was
normal.
paying any attention.
It's just that the mice.
There's a fucking mouse water skiing.
But you're suggesting to me that the mouse is also driving.
No,
the
no.
boat.
I said it was remote control
Oh,
speedboat.
yeah. Okay.
I wasn't so crazy to think the mouse was actually controlling the
Right, we're going
speedboat.
water skiing, guys.
But there was definitely one mouse behind the wheel and one mouse on the water skis.
Yeah.
So I look over and see the guy, and so I go over, and the thing about it, it's like
So you see a guy who's got a remote control boat with mice water skiing, and you think I should strike up a conversation with this
well, because
fella?
no one
You've
is
missed
paying
TOFOP.
attention.
Yeah.
And so I go over to the guy, and here's the thing that I think is so hilarious, right? Is, like some people, they'll get like an elaborate, like, tattoo on their chest or whatever, but they don't want to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I go over to the guy, and I'm like, hey, man, and he could not have been more.
Just doing a normal thing, mate.
Yeah.
Just a normal guy
It's
taking
like-
my mice for a
And
water
I turn
skate.
around, he's got like a box of, like, it's like
Spare
two
mice.
spare mice.
Oh.
Like they're in their separate kind of little pen.
This is torture, right?
No.
Is he torturing mice?
No,
They're having fun. They
having-
love it.
Well, that's
the
what it-
mice love it.
Okay, we're gonna get to that,
We all
right?
famously know that mice love water
So
skiing.
I'm like, hey man, what's the deal? And he's like, "Ugh," as if like, oh God, like, do I really have to? I
Yeah.
mean, what's unusual about
Yeah.
a mouse water skiing?
Yeah, that's why Mickey Mouse got on that steamboat in the first place. Get dragged along.
He was so put out by the fact that I was curious about what these mice were doing. And I'm so what's the deal? And he's like, yeah, like mice love water. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, how long did it take you to train the mice? He's like, no, they're happy to do it. And I'm like, are they?
Are they happy?
Are they happy to do it? And he's like, you know what they are
They
really?
love it,
He's
mate.
going, you know what they're really good at? And I'm like, what? He said surfing. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's going, yeah, mice are really good surfers.
What is he talking
And he
about?
pulled out these little surfboards that he puts the mice on, and he like takes them out into the break, and these mice
When he puts them on, just like literally just sits them on?
they're not strapped in.
They're not strapped
They
in.
hold on. So
Well, because otherwise they drown.
the water ski is like, it's like a little. When I say water ski,
Uh-huh.
it's technically not correct. It's more of a waterboard.
Oh yeah,
Not a
okay.
waterboard.
They
What do you call them?
They waterboard the
what do you
mice.
call the boards?
Let's waterboard them.
Boogie
What are
board,
your
a boogie
secrets?
board.
Where's the cheese?
No, not a boogie board, but it's like it's a little board that the mouse stands on with its hind legs, and then there's like a little pole that holds on to. So more like a scooter, I guess.
Okay.
But for the water.
All right.
This
So-
feels like a full-on hallucination.
I-
I'm
it's,
sorry.
it's true. It happened.
Yeah.
I've got video. I've got video of it.
Okay.
I'll find the video. I'll show you when we're done.
All right.
So mouse is water skiing. So then, Iona says,
Why does this guy have so many mice?
Well, I guess you lose a few, right? I'm assuming that
Where's he getting all these mice?
from, I don't know, like mice.
he buying mice,
is
or
our-
is he
mice are us? Mice are us?
Does he like buy mice? Like, or does he? Like,
Are
is
they
he
trained
collecting
mice or wild mice?
Yes.
Like I'd say they'd be domestic pets. I'd say they're not like
brown
Rod-
mice or
rodent.
white mice?
this one was white, one was brown.
Okay.
I don't
all
see
right.
colour when it
Yeah.
comes to
Well,
mice.
yeah, or at all, it turns out. What hues
Oh,
were they?
they could have been both white. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Okay.
So he had the 6 thing. So then the Iona saw it, and then once the kids at the beach were like, oh, they understood what's going on.
There's mice water skiing.
So they came over.
Yeah.
But then the guy was like, then he got really annoyed because suddenly,
come on, guys, I'm just a
guy. I'm just an
ordinary
guy.
thing.
I'm just a guy standing at the river with my remote control speedboat,
standing in front
driven
of
by mice,
mouse, asking it to water ski.
But then he started saying, well, yeah, they can surf, they can do this. I've got a little skateboard. I've got a little skateboard. I've got a little like skate bowl that I put
do a little
mouse
X Games with the mice.
I'm not overly familiar. I had mice as a kid, as pets growing up. We had 3 mice. I think I've told the story before. I had a white one called Minty. My sister had a black one called Licorice, and there was a brown one my other sister had called Coffee. Yeah. Minty, over the course of 2 weeks, got skinnier and skinnier, and we realized that Licorice and Coffee were hogging all the food. And then the night of my parents' dinner party, I went in to check on the mice, and I lifted the top off the cage, and Coffee and Licorice were eating Minty.
Well, you need a Minty after Coffee and Licorice, as a refresher.
It was so traumatic.
Yeah,
it was so traumatic. But
they love surfing and skating.
But apparently they love they're pretty.
You know what the problem about a skateboarding mice is, though?
What?
Danger of being eaten by Tony Hawk.
The hard thing about a skateboarding mouse is where are you going to get those tiny nangs from? To leave around the skate pole. It was baffling. It was, I've been going back to that same spot, hoping to see this guy again. I have not run into him, but it was such a niche. I've never seen such a thing. It was almost like the boat was custom, and what I want to know is there a community? Elise, maybe you can look this up. Is there a community of like stunt mice owners or mice? Yeah. Mice X Games, because I have never heard of it. Like, I know mice are used in experiments and all this kind of stuff. I didn't realize there was like a recreational application for mice.
Can I tell you what there is that I didn't know about? Is that there are 8-hour-long videos on YouTube of mice, like that are for your cat.
Oh.
Like, so like if you're going out of the house or you need, like, you entertain your cats, you can just like play a projector of like mice going in and out of like an activity,
and the cat can see it.
And the cats can.
I thought animals couldn't perceive 2-dimensional images.
Oh, not only can they see it, they will try to. I mean, they're dummies.
Yeah.
Like, they will try to get the mice. Yeah, hours of it. It's really ruined my YouTube algorithm.
What have you been doing? Why have you been watching videos of mice?
Tamsin's had her cats at my house.
Okay,
and so
that makes sense.
To entertain the cats, like I've put the projector with these, and they love them. Like they love it. But it's really interesting that it turns out yet another part of the internet that I was not familiar with is 8-hour videos of like mice doing activities.
You have to create a separate account that will fix your algorithm. Because I had the same thing. Gemma and I used to on the TV. We just use the same account, and then I started getting her fucking arty bloody history of art kind of videos when I'm trying to find my street fights. That's not true. I don't watch videos of street fights. Elise, it's time for the jingle. Oh, well, it's just like all our other producers, a bit slow on the old.
Crack that pack.
Crack that pack.
No, I'm sorry. I was trying to find pictures of mice doing tricks.
Oh, did you?
That's, this one is going through a flaming hoop.
That seems...
they love it.
Awesome.
They love it.
Like... That's cool. Is it on a motorbike or is it just...
It's on a skateboard.
It's riding a skateboard through a flaming hoop.
Yes.
Fucking hell, this guy's not working hard enough with his mice.
We've got to get
Maybe
mice.
I'm going to go back to the river and just set up a flaming hoop.
Yeah. Next time he goes, your mice are going through the
on motorbikes,
hoop.
tiny little motorbikes. Little Evil Knievel outfit.
They started a
jumping buses.
Motorbike gang.
We're in week 2 of our Crack That Pack final series. Last week we had the Illawarra Anzac taking on the Oat and Raisin Cookie Factory.
You know what we could have done if we had mice? We could have put these cookies also in with some mice and see which ones the mice ate first.
What would be the point of that?
No, just another way to verify which is the best biscuit.
According to
I've already bought all these mice.
Number one with mice. Okay, this is week 2. This is a good lineup. We sort of put some sizzle on this last week. We basically have our prepackaged Biscoff.
Yeah. Classic.
Taking on our, what do you call it? Like, what is bespoke, artisanal, vegan, non-wheat-free biscuit, which we loved from the Bangalow Bakehouse. What are we going to go first?
Well, I think let's go the Biscoff, right?
Yeah.
Because this is just your classic.
I mean, I know what I'm going to get. I've had so many Biscoffs since you introduced me to these.
But this is it. This is the old school classic. No cream in between. Just your actual straight ahead Biscoff. Have it with your coffee. Biscuit.
I mean, what can you say?
What can you say?
It's just they've perfected it. Whatever it is, they do it well, and it's so simple. It's just that little hint of, is it coffee? Is that what that little bitterness is? Is it coffee? That's what's a Biscoff. I'm assuming that's what it refers to.
It's really nice, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's just the sweet and the bitter. They just nail it. And the good thing about it too is I don't feel like it's too moreish. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's so sweet. I think you have one of those and you're good for a bit.
Yeah, I think so too. It's got, it's a good biscuit. They've done a good job with your Biscoff. But I have been looking forward to this spelt one.
Yeah, okay. So make sure you get some
since last time we had it.
You get some chocolate in there because that's what really sells it is the chocolate.
Okay. Charlie's going in first and he's going to have a bite of this. What I have loved about this one is that it's in a brown paper bag, which is basically see-through at this point from whatever has been leaking out of this cookie.
Oil. I'm sorry for the silence. I took such a big bite because I love it so much. Yeah, that is, as I've mentioned, that is my go-to. That is my go-to cookie. I don't really like, because Gem's gluten-free, I'm often baking gluten-free treats. And I'm always like, that'd be better if it had some gluten in it. I make gluten-free waffles at the moment. Got a waffle iron. And it's just, they don't taste any good. You need the gluten, you need real flour to make waffles. But even the consistency
You're
of it.
right about the chocolate, though. The chocolate
pushes it over the edge.
It's so good, that chocolate.
Yeah.
Belgian. I don't know what it is about the. Is it Belgian chocolate?
Yeah,
Did you ask?
Expensive. Yes. They have another one that it's a shame that we didn't have
all the
time.
way from Belgium to Bangalow.
No, it's very intriguing. It is a peanut butter chocolate pretzel cookie.
Oh.
That it's brand new, and it's like, no, it's too late. We're already in the final series. You have to enter next year. It's a hard call, though.
Mate, this is tough.
I really don't know.
I would love, Elise, would you be happy to have a taste of these two biscuits?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's deciding, but I need more information because I don't know if this is a tie at this point.
I almost feel like they're two different genre of biscuits.
It is harder. This is hard. Last week it felt real head to head.
Yeah.
Whereas this one feels like.
So take a freshie.
Take a fresh one for sure.
You don't have to eat our leftovers.
Thanks, guys.
You are going to have to eat the leftovers when it comes to the Bangalow one.
The bakehouse. I haven't even come up with a name for it.
Biscoff?
Oh, no, don't know. People do not. People don't like our mukbang.
I can edit that out.
Leave it in.
That is a delicious Biscoff treat.
Are you familiar with Biscoff prior to?
Yeah, my old housemate discovered it during lockdown, and it's all we ate.
Yeah, okay. And it didn't put you off?
No.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Now make sure you get some chocolate on this one when you.
Yeah, you got to get the
bake
chocolate.
Yeah. There you go.
Right.
Good. That's a good one.
Good. All right.
I mean, I feel bad that one of these biscuits is going home.
But this is finals, mate.
Yeah.
We're going to lose biscuits that we love.
Yeah.
This is the whole point of us having these finals.
I feel like I'm Marsha Hines on Idol. I'm going to start crying when I give my judgment.
I mean, but like Australian Idol, it's not always about the person
darling,
who comes first
you
or
do
second.
You do you.
Sometimes one of these is going to be an Emulsiano,
that's
right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not going to make it to the final two, but they're going to it's a great biscuit regardless.
Which one of these is Shannon? What's his name? I was going to call Shannon Neal. No, don't get the surname wrong. We know that that's not good.
That leads to disastrous consequences. I don't want to be punched again.
All right.
Okay.
We're just going to get. Yeah. This is not the deciding call.
You don't have to have the deciding vote.
I have thoughts. I'll go back.
Okay. Yeah. This is good. What a pro.
Good, yeah.
What a pro. I'm really conflicted on this. All right. Let's do pros for Biscoff. Pros and cons. Pros. They've just perfectly balanced bitterness and sweetness.
It's a classic.
Nothing
fancy.
We always bring in the tea dunking factor. I know you're not a big dunker.
I'm not a dunker.
But I think this is a great, no matter what the liquid is, milk, tea, coffee, this is great.
I could eat a whole packet of those.
Yeah.
Which is a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. But there is a classic, it's that thing of just going, I'm not going to do a big fancy thing. I'm just going to go, this is what I do.
It's so
but I'm just going to do it so well.
Yeah.
And so, even the biscuit itself is nice to look at, but it's not, it's kind of brown and a bit old fashioned.
If you were,
but it's just.
Imagine if you were traveling through Italy and you came across a little cafe somewhere and they put this out and you didn't know anything about it. You'd be like, oh, I had the most, it's got that level. But because it's mass produced, I think we mark it down a little bit. But it's honestly, for what it is, it's the best.
But. And I like big butts and I cannot like
But when you take into account that this is a vegan spelt.
Vegan.
Probably the hardest, what it's up against. And I would rank it as high, it's in the top 8, and it had the biggest handicap. This is if this was Australian Idol.
The stall gift.
But the package they'd put together around this would be a tearjerker.
Yeah.
It'd be like this little spelt cookie. Yeah. Couldn't have any gluten.
Dairy. Yeah. Never had gluten when it was growing up.
Yeah. Yeah. Not as not your obvious choice for a leading biscuit.
Yeah.
Look at
Didn't
other
grow up in the big cities where fancy biscuits were mass produced.
Didn't have a gooey center like some chocolate chip cookies. Not 50% chips like some cookies. It just does what it does, but it does it so well. Elise?
Tasted kind of weird to me.
Oh, that's bloody the Mark Holden coming in.
All right, interesting.
All right, Will, what's your take on Biscoff? Stop eating it. We have to.
Hang on. We don't have to do anything.
I mean, it is delicious. I just don't think it's the best choc chip biscuit I've ever had. There we go. I'll say it.
I really like it, Charlie. I find it very hard to go past Biscoff just because it's to me, this is your tennis tournament style, knockout. This is Roger Federer.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what it kind of makes me think of, and I don't know if this is, but years ago when a lot of my friends were getting into a comedy and a lot of them they'd do the Triple J Raw comedy thing. And sometimes you'd watch it and you'd be like, oh, that person got through. It's surprising. I wouldn't have thought that they were the best one there. But then I would speak to judges or people, new judges, say, well, often you'd look at someone who's really going to go, well, I think they're going to be fine without the boost of raw comedy.
The Biscoff's fine without us. Biscoff is doing great.
It's fine. It doesn't need any more promotion.
Biscoff is Tommy Little. It doesn't need to win the awards. Let's chuck an award to someone who needs a little bit more attention. Yeah.
So that steers me towards... I mean, look, just in terms of what biscuit I eat the most, that's the one I consume the most. So I'm a bit biased. I don't know if I have to actually step back because I've got a conflict of interest when it comes to the spelt biscuit. But that would be my vote. Is I would send through the chocolate chip spelt to the next round.
I can't split them. Genuinely, I think they're both so good, and I think it's such a tough thing that one of them has to miss out on going through to the next round.
And you'll find out after the break. Can we put in the Australian Idol sting there?
Yeah. Why, yes, we
can. I think just based on the logic that I subscribe to yours, which is let's give a little
plucky little dark chocolate
to go
biscuit
through the final. And I'm going to go with I'm sorry, Biscoff.
Yeah,
but
you'll be fine.
It's time to go.
All right. So The Banglo Bakehouse Spelt Dark Chocolate Cookie is through to the next round. That's very exciting stuff. And we have reached the end of our episode. We're just going to plug our Patreon. There's a link in the show notes. If you'd like to sign up, you get early access to every episode, live streams for Two Guys, One Cup, and I do a live stream on a Friday as well. Plus heaps and heaps of archival material. It's well worth your while. Will, you've got shows coming up in Brisbane, you said.
I do Brisbane shows for 2 weeks and then rescheduled Canberra shows that I had to cancel originally. Have been rescheduled. They are also on sale again, so link in the show notes.
And just a reminder, if you do want to get in contact with the show, don't go to our website. There is our email addresses in the show notes.
This is nice now. The new approach. Don't go to our website. Please do not go to our website.
I'm going to redo the website. We need an overhaul, so go to the show notes, email tofop@gmail.com. That's the best way to get in touch with us via email. But we'll be back again next week. I'm Charlie Clausen.
I've been eating the rest of the Biscoff. It's still pretty good.
It's pretty good.